What's going on, everyone? It's your average consumer, and today I've got an unboxing for you guys of the brand new Samsung Galaxy S5. Now, this is Samsung's latest flagship device, and in this video, we're going to go over what you get inside the box and also how different it is from the Galaxy S4. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. And alright guys, here we have the Samsung Galaxy S5. This is Samsung's latest device. It's a pretty standard box. It's the same kind of box that Samsung has been going with for the last couple of years. In the back, we do have some specs listed. So it's 4G LTE capable. It has a smart remote, so it has an IR blaster, so you can control your TV with it. It has a fitness heart rate monitor, so that's pretty much a gimmick, but we'll get into that later. It's running the latest version of Android, which is 4.4.2, I believe. It's got a 5.1 FHD Super AMOLED display, a 2.5 gigahertz quad-core processor. I think it's a Snapdragon 801 chip, I believe. It's got a 16 megapixel rear-facing camera and a 2 megapixel front-facing camera. And of course, it records in HD in full 1080p. And I believe also 4K. So now let's actually get inside of the box. So we'll pop this thing out. And we can throw this right over here. And here we have it. Now, the guys at T-Mobile love getting inside people's boxes and, setting up the device for them. So they already busted my tape open, so no unboxing knife for this one. But let's get inside. Luckily, I told them don't set up anything because I want it to be as is for this video. Now, I did get the black version. This is also 16 gigabyte. And we're going to just put the phone to the side. Tons of stickers and whatnot all over this thing. But we'll get back to it. And inside you have your SIM card. So you can pop your SIM in. And let's get past that. And let's see what else we've got inside the box. Now this is typical Samsung packaging. Really the same things you'd expect from like any of their Galaxy products. So of course you get your start guide. And along with it, you have your start guide, accessory guide, and as well as some warranty and safety information. So we'll put the booklets to the side. Also, you get, in the T-Mobile version, you get a limited warranty booklet, as well as some merchandise return label, just in case you want to recycle some of your older handsets. So now, with all the paperwork out of the way, here we have the USB cable. Now, what's interesting about this cable is that it isn't your standard micro USB. This is a USB 3.0 cable. So you can discharge this with USB 3.0. So you're going to get much faster charge times. This should make it really quick. And you can usually tell it's a USB 3.0 cable when it has the blue on the USB part, as well as the longer portion that goes into the actual phone. So it's got a little extended part. And this is a very, very thick cable, guys. Very thick. And it's really got some good length to it. So you're going to be able to probably charge this in a wall adapter and still be able to put it like on a desk or a nightstand. So it's good when cables have good length, and this is pretty thick, so it should have some longevity as well, hopefully. Now you also get your standard wall charger. So this is the same kind of wall charger that you could come to expect from Galaxy products. So this is to help it charge up really quickly. And let's see, you also get these earbuds. So these are Samsung earbuds. Now, when you open these up and you actually take a look at it, they're pretty decent in earbuds. But what I really like about the buds is that it has a remote. So it has a play and pause button as well as volume controls. Volume controls are a rarity amongst Android devices. And it's really cool that Samsung, comes out with their own earbuds and that actually support that feature. So volume controls are here as well as the play and pause, so you can answer calls, play and pause your music, and control your volume. Great stuff. Really love that Samsung does that. And then also included are some ear tips. So you have different sizes for those earbuds. So if you have small ears, you can use the small. If you have large, it has large. And I believe the medium probably come on it already. And you also get a pretty large battery here. And this is a 2800 milliamp battery. So that should give some pretty decent battery life. I'm really looking forward to that. this is becoming the standard. I'm really happy seeing that companies are coming out with batteries above 2500 milliamps. So they're really good stuff. So I'm going to put this over to the side, and I think that is about it for everything else that comes in the box. And real quick, just to go over what we got inside the box again, we have the battery, the in-ear buds, some extra ear tips just in case you need them, and as well as the wall adapter and the USB cable, along with a bunch of booklets and manuals and stuff. So we can put all this stuff away now and get here cleaned up. And alright guys, so here we have it. This is the Galaxy S5. This is the black version. And like I said, this has tons and tons of plastic all over it. But what it does say up front is that it is the Galaxy S5 and it's got a Super AMOLED full HD display. So it's 1080p. And you've got the Android technology, Bluetooth, and NFC. So all that good stuff is packed into this. And in the back, we've got some instructions on how to actually place the cover onto the back. Now I kind of want to get into this phone and see what it looks like already. So let me pull this thing over, pull it over here, and get rid of this. Now this just feels like an excessive amount of plastic, so we're getting rid of that. And we've got some plastic around the sides as well, so we're gonna get rid of those. And let's see, couple of things here, and boom, that's about it. Now this is really light without the battery, guys. Very, very light. So I'm going to put in the battery now, and I'm going to give you guys a quick close-up of what's actually going on inside of the back. So on the right side, you'll see that there's a little piece that you can actually use your thumbnail to kind of just pry open, and then you can get a look inside the back. And just taking a look at the back of the case, guys, you can see that it has this little seal going around it. And that's because this is actually waterproof and dust proof. So you can actually submerge the Galaxy S5 for I guess about a meter. And then you can do that for about 30 minutes. But I think some people have tested it and seen that it can go longer than that. But that's what they say that you can do with this. So that's pretty cool. So if this happens to fall in your toilet, you're not screwed. So this is pretty good. So also in the back here, you have your micro SD card. So you can actually put in up to 128 gigs of storage. So even though it has 16 gigs, you can put up to 128. So depending on how much you want to spend, you can upgrade the storage on this quite a bit. And pretty much that's about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install this battery and then give you guys a quick tour of the entire device. Alright guys, so here we have it. This is the Galaxy S5. So we'll start with the front and see what's up front. So up top, like I mentioned, it has a 2 megapixel front facing camera, and it's got a couple of sensors here as well. And towards the bottom, you have your home button. Now what's interesting about this home button is that it's actually a fingerprint scanner, similar to the iPhone 5, but it's a bit different in that you can't use it the same way. You can't just place your finger on it, you have to swipe it. So it's still different, but I'll go over that in the review and let you guys know how that works. And it also has some capacitive buttons. You have your back button here as well as your recent app button. So that's the front of it, and on the left side you have your volume rocker, which is pretty standard, and on your right side you have your power button. And on the bottom of the phone you see something pretty interesting. It has a little flap that gives you access to where you can charge it. So with this flap, this is what helps it to remain waterproof and dust resistant. So you can actually use this flap to protect it. Now, people hate flaps because it's inconvenient whenever you want to throw this thing on the charger. You have to pull it open. But, I mean, it does add to the phone. It does add a little feature. But it can be inconvenience whenever you want to get a quick charge and you always have to pull it off. And I'm sure that this thing gets flimsy after a while. But like I said, this uses a USB 3.0 cable so that it can charge up, pretty quickly. It has a large battery. But if you don't happen to have a USB 3.0 cable like the one that comes with it, you can still use a micro USB cable, a pretty normal one, and still charge it. It won't charge as quickly, but it'll still get the job done. And at the top of the phone, you'll see that it has a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and this little part right here is the IR blaster. So you will be able to control your TV with this. And it has a couple of microphones all over, the bottom, the top, all kinds of stuff. Now, the back of the phone is where you have your speaker at the bottom left-hand corner. Now, I'm not a fan of this speaker at all, especially considering the HTC One has the 2 boom sound speakers that sound amazing. So I'm not expecting much from the speaker at all. And also you have your fingerprint scanner here. Like I said, guys, before, it's pretty much a gimmick. There are other ways to do this, I believe. I heard that you can kind of check that stuff out with a flash and camera. Now, honestly, I've never ever cared about, checking my heart rate on my cell phone. So when Samsung said that they did their research and they heard that customers really want that, I was pretty confused. I didn't know that was a criteria for people to want to get their fitness on with their phone, but meh. Anyway, it has a 16 megapixel camera up there as well. And of course, you have your flash there. So you've got all that good stuff that you can come to expect. And what's pretty cool about this camera is that it also records in 4K. So that's going to be pretty cool. It doesn't have optical image stabilization, so you might get some shaky videos. But overall, it's cool that it can do that regardless. And now, talking about this back now. The back actually feels way, way better than I expected. I thought it was going to feel like something pretty cheap, but this actually feels pretty good in the hand. I actually like it. I do like the grip that I'm getting from this. This is a pretty nice feel to me, but it is still plastic at the end of the day, and it's still really light. And pretty much that's it, guys. This is the Galaxy S5. It has a similar look to the Galaxy S4 and the Note 3. It's like a hybrid between the two. The overall shape of it is like the Note 3, but it does have the size of like the Galaxy S4. So it is like a bit of a hybrid there. So now let's turn this thing on and see what we're greeted with. Now, as you guys can see, it's a Samsung Galaxy S5 powered by Android, and of course the typical Samsung logo. T-Mobile version, so it's got 4G LTE. So I'm going to set this guy up, and then I'm going to give you guys a brief overview of what you can get once you get it started. Alright guys, so right now it's going through the setup process, downloading a bunch of my apps, all that good stuff. Just going to show you guys quickly what it looks like when you go through the first couple of things. So when you go to the left here, you have the My Magazine. This is kind of like Samsung's version of Blink Feed, if you know what that is. This is where you can get all of your updates. You can get news articles. Your social media can be attached to here. You can do all kinds of stuff, so you can get all your updates when you just swipe over to the left. So on the regular screen, you have the OK Google that has the search bar there. And what's really cool is that even though this is TouchWiz, you can still just say OK Google and have that pop up. With the HTC One, you can't do that. Usually you can only do that with Nexus devices. So that's really cool that they have that here. And this is the little clock widget that they have. They have the S Health here. So a couple of different things. And pretty much this is it. It's really smooth so far. The only time it seems to lag is when it goes into this My Magazine. It's not the fastest transition. But when you're going to the other pages, you can see how quickly these move. But when it comes to that, it takes its time. So going through the rest of the apps, pretty quick stuff, pretty simple. So let's take a look at the notifications, as these have changed quite a bit. So as you can see, the design has changed up a little bit. So when you go into your settings, it still has that same design as you can see with the notifications, where you can turn on different little features, different toggles. So you have all of those. So let's actually go into the settings, and you can see here it has quick settings and all kinds of different little things. So you have a lot of options here. Typically there's that list format, but there's this little thumbnail version. So it's kind of like apps within your settings. So different cool stuff here. I actually like this view. It's actually pretty easy to digest what's actually in your settings, because they have like little pictures and icons. So this is pretty cool. And pretty much this is it, guys. I'm going to have a bunch of videos. I'm going to be comparing this to other phones. Tell me, guys, what phones you want this to be compared to. I do have the HTC One M8. I have the Nexus 5, the iPhone 5/6 on hand. So I have a bunch of different devices. Let me know what you want to see this compared to, what kind of videos you'd like to see about this device, and anything else you want to see, let me know. So that's about it for this unboxing, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. That was a quick overview of everything you can expect. And if you enjoyed it, definitely be the cool guy that hits the like button, and subscribe to the channel for more content from me, and definitely more S5 coverage. Till the next video, guys, it's your average consumer. Peace.